Like every time I used to say why me, boo-hoo me, and pity party, and then find some way to run numb or forget about it, right?
Mm.
But now it's like you're putting me in heat again. And if you want to forge and mold steel, you put it through fire.
Mm.
So the more I'm in fire, the more he's taking his time in making me the right blade. And to me, it's like, good. The sharper you get me, and me, with my warrior mentality, is that the more this knife is gonna cut Satan.
Mm.
So put me through the fire.
You're his warhammer.
Yeah, put me through the fire, and I'm just gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna keep reading the Bible, and I'm gonna keep learning and seeing you through this. And once I come out of it, a new blade, we get to go test it, and then I'm always gonna be in fires.
Mm.
So it's like good, but I'm aiming, I'm aiming for Saint's jugular.
You know, a long time ago, I heard an analogy about the putting something in fire, and it said this, and this as to add to what you're saying. Why does God put us through fire to shape us, to mold us? But they say, how does a steel worker know when the piece of metal is done? You know, how
Mm.
does he know the perfect time to pull it out before it also kills the metal? How does he know? How does he know? He holds it there until he sees his face in it. And once he sees his face in it, he knows it's time to pull it out and put it into the water. And so he's melting the dross, he's melting the bitterness, he's melting the hurt. He's healing you, bro, in the fire.
Yeah.
You know, those friends giving you a hug and not being out drinking and partying and not giving a rip about you. That was a moment of healing. That was a moment of fire that brought healing, purification. He's healing your mind. He's solidifying. He's purifying you. You know that the churches in Revelation. You know which there were 7 churches, and out of all 7, only 2 of them didn't get a reprimand from God. Only 2. All the other ones got like, hey, you're doing great, but here's what you got to work on. If you don't work on, I'm gonna come fight you myself. That's the kind of things God's saying to him. But the 2 that God didn't have any corrections for were the persecuted church, the 2 churches that went through persecution, because there's nothing like the fire that won't purify you. You know, it's the fire of life persecution that will burn out everything that is not his face. And that's what he's doing in you, bro. And when you know, I know this is the first time you've mainly talked after the fight, but I really believe God's going to give you such a word on these podcasts. You're going to have to go on them. You're going to have to, talk about the fight, talk about where you're going, what's next. But I really believe I'm so glad that we got to be first, because you're building your foundation of what God's going to use you to say on all these things. I mean, I pray you bring up the book of Job on the most secular podcast that you're on. And they're like, well, it's Job or Job, you know? We have a scripture in Job, Pastor, about coming through as gold. Did you know that, Brian? There's one in Job about that. What is it?
But
Put it
gold,
up. Put it
is
up,
it,
my team. Let's see. This
isn't
is the
it
one. Oh, look at this.
23?
Michael
But he,
Jordan's number.
but he knows.
But he knows the way I take. And when look at this. Whoa, bro.
I like that one.
That's like one you tattoo on your heart right there. But he knows the way I take. And when he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Woo! That's a good one.
I like that one.
I like that. I like that smile on your face. Yeah, you need to remember that one. 2310.
Let me see.
2310. You got Michael Jordan and Messi's number all in one right there. The greats. The greats. 2310. I love that. Don't you guys